Tamil Nadu. I'm here today with Adrian and Warren from TRL. They're doing some truly unique work. We're really delighted to speak with them. Warren, why don't you go ahead and get started? Tell us a little bit about yourself and your Web3 journey.
Hey, thanks, Tony. Yeah, sure. So a little background about myself. Born and raised in Malaysia. Yeah, we are a Malaysian team. Basically, my background is actually in property development, right? We developed and procured GDV, gross development value, worth of 100 M so far, right here in Malaysia, comprising mostly of industrial and commercial properties. Yeah. So I'm more of I'm the COO of my company, TRL, right, which I'll talk to you guys in a bit. My background is actually property development slash investment. So I'm right now managing eight-figure portfolio, right, and in a partner in Ethereal Growth Fund as well. Yeah, so that's my background, and we ventured into tokenization and TRL since 3 years ago. So that has been good. Yeah.
Very cool. Adrian, would love to hear about you.
Yeah, so I kind of joined crypto in 2016, but I was from Web2. My bread and butter was a translation agency. I think in the lifetime of it, we've hit like mid 8 figures worth of revenue. And then I think in 2016, I bought some Bitcoin and I've been DCAing for about like 9, 10 years now, every week without stopping. Haven't sold a single one yet. Co-founded Lambda Society and 2XE scholarships back then, and then an agency called Liden Labs, which I have exited since, and then now I've joined TRL.
Okay, excellent. You guys both, have phenomenal backgrounds. Truly OGs in the space. Tell us a little bit more about the team that you've built.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so 2 years ago when 3 years ago when this project Inception came about, Adrian Kapoor and I, our CEO and partner, he can't really join today. We sort of came up with the idea that we wanted to revolutionize and redefine real estate investment, given that it's such a very traditional space, right? So, for example, here in Malaysia, and I'm pretty sure across all countries, if you want to actually sort of invest in a property, you would you would first get a loan. You would have to deal with the land office or the land department, right? And then they would recognize that title in which you actually want to gain that property. So the transfers and documentation behind it will it's inefficient, and there's several layers that you have to go through, which is very traditional. So that inefficiency in our opinion is ripe for disruption, right? And furthermore, to be able to invest, you will also have to go through a lot of people. So, for example, bankers, agents, lawyers, right? So all of this inefficiency can actually be solved via blockchain and via tokenization, which is exactly what we're doing. So that's how the idea came about. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's excellent. Why don't we go ahead, if you wouldn't mind sharing your screen? We'd love to dive in, see what things look like from the user's perspective. Definitely resonate with what you were saying there. There's so much bureaucracy and red tape in real estate, and yeah, I think blockchain can absolutely solve that. We're seeing a lot of traction with RWAs in the market. So very curious to see what y'all have built.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, man. Yeah. So just to manage expectations, I'm going to run through who TRL is as a business for 10 minutes, right? Then I'm going to let Sim sort of share his screen. Adrian Sims share his screen to show you what we have built so far, because we are actually a company that has been, we are product first, right? Rather than marketing and all that. We believe in our product. We have built our product since 3 years ago, and right now, and we have some traction. So I want to share with you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, awesome. So our company is TRL, right? The Real Lifestyle. Motto is actually own real assets, because that's where the tangible assets are, because we are real, and then we earn real rewards at the same time, right? So the concept is we can invest and live globally, right? Because in our opinion, real estate, sexy properties in Bali, sexy properties in Dubai should be actually exposed to everyone around the world. Malaysia is very sort of closed ended. So we just wanted to sort of solve that problem by letting everyone invest globally, right? And we don't stop at real estate. We also concentrate on businesses and brands overall, right? And this is powered by tokenization. So the big problems that we're solving in a solution is there's illiquid, being property, being assets. These are illiquid assets, right? So we want to actually, the problem we're solving is actually getting all of these assets more liquid and more, although they're tangible, but more real, right? And how do we do that? Well, tokenization, where we have ownership of basically an asset-backed token, right, which is essentially backed by those assets, and you can enjoy investing in properties in Bali and villas in Bali, and actually get all those yields very efficiently, right, transferred to you without having go through the process of getting a real estate agent to get rental and all that. So asset liquidity and access is there for flexibility. The second problem is inefficiency, right? So renting properties has always been a problem. It's also very traditional. Again, it's the same thing. You don't actually deal with a lot of third-party players, for example, lawyers and agents and bankers. You only deal with us, which is TRL, right? And right now we notice that ever since COVID, right, there's changing lifestyle priorities. So, for example, a lot of people want to mix leisure with working from home, right? That has been a trend always. So ever since then. So how we do it is that we have a home subscription product, a consumer application, where we actually let people enjoy while owning assets in Bali, for example. They can actually let out maybe a room out of 3 and then gain from there as well. But also at the same time subscribe for our home subscription, which is the Netflix of rent, and actually stay there while enjoying living in Bali as well. So that's what we foresee. The train is moving, and we want to actually cater to that. The fourth thing is there are global investment barriers. So again, if there's very little exposure to Malaysians, especially if they want to actually invest in abroad, which is US, UK, anywhere around the world. So via tokenization and ownership of tokens allows that. Yeah. So that's the problems. A solution is basically, in a nutshell, a tokenized asset AI ecosystem, right? We don't just concentrate on the supply, which is tokenization. We already have a lot of assets. We also want to concentrate on the demand as well. And that's revolved around our platform, which, we'll show you in a bit, right? So the whole concept is seamless, borderless, and accessible lifestyles. At the same time, we democratize ownership of assets, yeah? So all of this is actually in a value loop. So first step is we democratize investments. We acquire the assets globally, right? It's all dialed down into multifaceted investable products, which me personally, because I'm a property investor with a background and also into the capital markets, we will actually fine tune it based on our criteria, right? So that it's actually investable and attractive for investors, yielding close to 12%, 12 to 15%, depending on where it is, right? And then those will be listed in our tokenized lifestyle ecosystem. And then while living in those assets, right, for example, Bali, you will also earn rewards from our utility tokens, right? So it's not just investing, you can also earn them like a rewards Bonvoy program, yeah? And then all of this is all seamless. Again, you only deal with us, right? You don't deal with, because especially the Gen Zs, they don't really know how to liaise with a lawyer anymore, liaise with a banker anymore, and own properties, right? But their parents, they've always been telling them, hey, own properties, own assets. Right now, you can actually do it in a very seamless way. So that's what we're doing, the value.
So true, too. I mean, the amount of Gen Zs that own homes is like nothing. So very cool. And especially, I really resonate, as a Gen Z myself, we love the flexibility. So that's super cool. You can also get ownership, but stay there as well. Kind of a unique type of Airbnb for Web3. So super interesting.
Yeah, thanks for that, man. Yeah, exactly. You hit the nail on the head. So our dual ecosystem is revolving around the supply and demand. So the supply is mostly about acquiring assets, right? Tokenizing them. And it could be in Dubai, Malaysia, Bali, and all that. It can also be companies, right? It's not limited. As long as these assets are sitting on an SPV, which is a company also named special purpose vehicle. The special purpose is purely to basically own assets and issue tokens, right? So that's the purpose of those companies. As long as it sits within a company, we can tokenize anything, right? So we own and earn from your assets. We then list them into a private DEX or P2P because we want to make it liquid, right? And then that's when the trading and tokenization happens. On the demand side, we have our utility tokens. So while staying, in those properties that we tokenize, you can also earn, right? So treat it like a gamified way of earning more as more lifestyle tokens as you go along, right? So you will you'll earn more TRL. You will have benefits from whatever this the whole spectrum of ancillary revenues or ancillary lifestyle aspects that they can enjoy. For example, if that hotel owns a small F&B, they can tie up with Grab or Uber, right? Or they can have all the ancillary revenues or ancillary lifestyles that you can enjoy that they own, you can enjoy as well, right? So lifestyle staking. So again, it's a utility token. You can stake it to get more rewards. You can also as long as you're within the ecosystem, you're gamified, you can earn more as well. And then token staking as well. So that's the whole supply and demand spectrum which we capture, and eventually these utility tokens will be listed on the DEX or SEX as well, so that we can trade them, right? So that's the
Gotcha.
dual token ecosystem.
And Warren, had one question there. Where are y'all acquiring these assets from? And is it typically residential focus?
Yeah, good question. So that'll be shown in the traction later, but basically we have so far made partnerships in Dubai, and we've made partnerships with MR, and which is one of the biggest developers there. We know the head of sales in Aldar Properties, which is one of the biggest developers as well, and also Home Blocks, which is a real estate fund focused on acquiring properties. So they are very interested in tokenization. So we got some of those units booked as well. However, our traction actually is strong within Malaysia and Bali, because we have 5 villas in Bali called Celeste Villas under construction, and we are working with one of the top property developers in Malaysia called SP Setia, right? Our PR is actually coming out soon. And we're working to tokenize 5 of their units as well, which is in a very strategic location in KL, heart of KL, right? Kuala Lumpur, which is the capital of Malaysia.
Yeah,
so that's what we're doing. Yeah.
Very cool. Excellent. Cool. Yeah. So you talk to us more here, I guess, about the tokenomics.
Yeah, so this is the way the business monetizes, right? So first we tokenize, and then we monetize from getting the demand in from a home subscription. So home subscription is basically treated like the Netflix of rent, right? You pay one fees, you can stay anywhere around the world as long as the assets are within our ecosystem, and that's via a subscription model, right? So hence home subscription. We also have HomeFi, which is a finance for staying, and then RenoFi, which is financing just specifically for renovation. A lot of banks don't do this, but we want the whole ecosystem, and we want the whole journey from, let's say, for the Gen Zs that we talked about, right? We want the whole process to be seamless, where, okay, now they acquired the property, now they're staying in it, they want to beautify it, right? So what do? They entitled for HomeFi. They want to renovate, they're entitled for RenoFi, right? So we got the whole spectrum sort of dialed in. And then after that, we scale by working with partners like KLDX, INX, IXSwap, our partners in Dubai, Home Blocks, and all that. Yeah, so that's the whole sort of ecosystem taken care of. Yeah. Other than that, I think other than that, for TRL, it's just mostly about our home application, like Home Sub, which is coming in the 3rd quarter of this year. And also for investing, it's as simple as just owning a token. So, for example, if let's say we find particular properties in Villa, right? All you gotta do is just go to our platform, which Adrian will walk you through in a bit. You subscribe to it or go to it, and let's say the 12% yields attract you, right? So you buy into it, and then the smart contracts are actually dialed in a way that all the rental from those villas done, they can actually just transact back to you as token holders, and then you can get your yields, right? It's as simple as that. So that's how
Amazing.
we work. Yeah,
Super
that's how we
cool.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I love too how the flywheel is all connected, and you offer so many really value propositions that this market is really demanding and looking for, but doesn't have access to whatsoever due to the red tape and bureaucracy that we were discussing a bit earlier.
That's right. So our goal is actually to onboard more assets, right? So if you have assets along the way that you want to offload, come to us. As long as it fits within our criteria, we can onboard them, tokenize them, right? There's a whole process, and then ready for the market, right? So yeah, that's cool. What we have accomplished so far is basically based on milestones. We were one of the startups. So there's 2 grants that we actually got and we won in terms of accelerator. One of them, the first one, is actually a Tenity and IOTA accelerator, where we were chosen out of 100 startups, right? So we got a grant of 50,000 and basically built the program. All we have to do is just onboard the asset-backed tokens into IOTA, and then we can be entitled for the full. We already got I think close to 70% of those grants, right, which is great. The second one is actually a partnership with MOSTI, which is the Malaysian government, working with SP Setia as well, one of the bigger property developers in Malaysia. We were chosen out of 600 startups, and then six out of 6 was actually chosen, and now we are actually tokenizing for them as well as an alternative financing, right? So that's good. Right now, we are actually tokenizing 2 of our bars, right? 2 bars in Centrepoint, which is another sort of strategic location here in Malaysia, and also SP Setia via Residences and villas in Bali's, right? So that's what we have done so far. We have also done a proof of concept. The first home in Malaysia to be tokenized is in Johor, right, at the border of Singapore. That is already done. That's our proof of concept. Right now, we're actually venturing into all these, and then there'll be good traction after we launch. Yeah.
That's phenomenal. Truly stellar work on the rewards and achievements. And it looks like y'all have some great properties, in the line here.
Yes, sir. So a little bit about the team. Adrian Gafoor is our co-founder and CEO. He basically runs one of Asia's largest esports marketing companies called EBN, Esports Business Network, right? He also has a range of brands under him, which is, Cyber Cafes, Orange, Frank Media, which is concentrated on media advertising, and then Liho Tea as well. Myself, I'm ex-COO of Park Choon Group, which is the property developer group that we mentioned, procured GDV of close to $100 to $150 million so far. And also I run a fund. We have Ida Mock, which is actually one of the OGs in the space of Bitcoin, and who's our partner in legal, right? She was also owner of Fluidity Money and founder of Women in Blockchain Asia, right? So it's quite a big deal. And then we have Adrian Sim, obviously, one of the OGs of Bitcoin and Web3. Pretty sure a lot of communities know him as well. Yeah, so that's us. Now, that's all for TRL, right? That's us and our traction. I'm going to turn now to Sim to actually walk through what we have done so far in the platform. How again, we are product first, right? So yeah, on to
absolutely. And I was curious too, Adrian, while you're pulling up your screen, where does the name come from?
Well, the name was because our CEO, Adrian Gafoor, has a penchant for being lazy on naming his companies. So his original company was Esports Business Network, and then they needed to branch off into gaming for esports. So he wanted to name it something, but didn't know what the hell to call it. So they just call it The Gaming Company. It was initially called Gaming Company, but then one of his co-founders suggested he added a "the." So Facebook removed "the," they picked it up and put it back in. So that's why it's called The Gaming Company. And then for this one, he wanted it to revolve around the whole lifestyle thing. So he called it The Real Lifestyle Company, TRL.
Very cool. So. Awesome. Cool. So yeah, we're able to see your screen. We're in the platform now. Walk us around a bit.
Yeah, so basically, once you log in, this is the first thing that you will see. Essentially, it's a portfolio of your value, right? And your membership status over here. I'll get into that a little bit later. It will show you your wallet value, your TRL core value, your unclaimed yield, active asset pools, and your potential reward across the next few days. Now, if you wanted to view the investment strategies we have for every individual property, it is all right here. Let me see if I can just kind of open. Yeah. So it will come up like this. So essentially, we have like the full-fledged thesis on why the investment you make and why we decide to include this in the portfolio for our investors, right? For example, this is a bar, and this is the chef behind it, and then we have multiple, sets of information for investors. So essentially, this is kind of like the prospectus for our investors to basically take a look before they jump into something, right? So they understand it, all right? So moving on, we have the explore page. So essentially the explore page, we will show all the properties that are currently available for investment, right? So for example, this is already fully subscribed, but you can still click. It will open up in a kind of Google Chrome tab style, and you can click in to take a look. Like this one is already fully subscribed. It was purchased by like what Warren mentioned earlier. We want to reduce the boundaries for global investments. So this was purchased by a Singaporean who wanted to buy a Malaysian property, but he couldn't because there's a kind of a minimum cap on the price of the property. But through us, he was able to acquire this property and purchase it as a tokenized unit, right? So for other properties like this is the bar, the Smash Bros group. So there is Bosco and then there's Granite. They both kind of look the same because they're part of the same family, but they're not, right? So there is a valuation for each of it. So when you go in, you are able to basically browse the different pictures available of the unit, right? And then it will show you the Google review star rating, how much money they make a month in revenue, what's the annual growth, and all of these are audited. So you can basically check them out in the investment strategy kind of page, right? And there's a business overview, and actually explains the Smash Bros portfolio, the management, the key metrics. This is basically the overview for the business and stuff like that. And then there is a kind of like a review section for you here. The location basically shows you where it is, and then there's a timeline for basically when the token is launching now. If you were looking to invest in it, you could just click this, and then you get to choose do you want to pay USDT or you want to pay with TRL, right? So if you click USDT, it will load the purchasable tokens, and then let's say I buy like 100 or $15 worth. I will review my purchase. It will show you the review page, which is like, okay, this is the token price. This is how much you're buying. This is the token cost. And you can confirm your purchase.
Gotcha. And each unique property or kind of like location has its own token, or how does that work?
Right. So we have a utility token, and that's called TRL Co. But for properties here, just for background for whoever's viewing, I'm actually approving stuff on my MetaMask, but the screen share is showing here, right? So essentially, every tokenized portfolio will have an asset tag to it, like a token tag to it. For example, if you're tokenizing Emaar in Dubai, a basket of those properties, it will fall under maybe like TRLX 3, 4, 5, 6. It's an ascending number, but basically the token is just a representation of that basket of assets. So in this case, I already bought Smash Bros, which is a basket. The basket of assets for this in particular is these two bars, right? So it's Bosco and Granite, both together forming Smash Bros. So S Bros token will be getting 6 to 8% of the top line revenue from both of these bars on a monthly basis. But let me kind of explain a little bit more.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I was curious. So the token holders earn a part of the revenue as the APY, essentially?
Correct. So for businesses that are tokenized, they will earn a portion of the revenue as APY. How it works is that once you purchase the token, you will be able to stake it here, right? The staking isn't active yet because we're going to start distribution at the end of this month. But once you have the S Bros, essentially, when you stake it, it will look something like this. You will see the rewards tick in real time of the reward token being kind of streamed to you in real time, and you can claim that and do whatever you want with it. You can buy more properties, you can compound it, etc. Right? So in this case, I'm staking TRL Co, our utility token, and the rewards pool is here. So how the reward pool works is that on the end of every calendar month, right, we will the business will pay us that revenue. We will convert it, on-ramp it to USDT, and we'll feed it into that smart contract. And then across the next 30 days, the smart contract is going to drip on a prorated basis to the people who basically staked the tokens in the staking contract, right? So in this case, you can see that the daily APR is 3% for TRL code. So if I were to stake some more TRL code, it would go down. So I'm just gonna kind of demo that for a bit here. This
Okay.
will
We have just about another minute. Sorry, we're a little stretched on time today. But yeah, why don't you show us that last feature and then go from there.
just run it through really quick. 1 sec. So I'll claim the tokens, and then it will take like a couple seconds, right? So the tokens come here, right? So if you stake, cancel. If you stake this, it will go into the smart contract, and then you'll see the APR kind of go down. Right. So you see the APR went down, and yeah. So since in the interest of time, we have a couple of minutes, like just 1 minute left. So let me just quickly run through everything.
No, but I love the way the rewards are structured, extremely transparent, and yeah, seeing that daily APY is quite unique, and I think very exciting for investors.
Yeah. So for investors, there is also a quest section, essentially of things you can do to earn free TRL code tokens. And then there's a membership perks. Basically, we have a utility token membership and a asset membership, right? So going into it is this one. So the more you stake, the more you get. Essentially, you get free KSPay cards to off-ramp your yields, you get free stays, etc. Basically, to kind of complement everything. And then on the portfolio page, you'll be able to see how your portfolio is performing, how much APR you're earning, what's the value of your tokens, etc., and a summary of your portfolio in essence. We also have a referral code where if you refer people, you'll be able to obtain more of our tokens once they KYC. And within the preferences page, you will have KYC verification here, your account, and basically stuff you can use to kind of modify your account and handle that. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you both so much. It's been super informative. Truly excellent platform. We're delighted to speak more. And just before we finish things off, where can we find out more about both of you, the team, and the project?
Right. So you can find out more on trlco.world, or we have our Telegram, which is which is TRL World. Just search TRL World, and you'll get into our Telegram as well. And our X is the same.
Excellent. Well, thank you both so much. Very much looking forward to conversing more about this super exciting project. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Tony. Have a good night.
Thank you, Tony. Thanks for having us.